All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. So I wanted to do a video. I want to convey something real quick. So I got Trey Honeycutt with me. Say hi, Trey.
Howdy.
Howdy. Awesome. Give us some applause. Yeah. And then we got Greg Birch with us. Say hi, Greg.
Hello. How are you, sir?
Oh, you're doing very well. They just kept clapping. You guys are so great. We couldn't calm the crowd down. I want to start with you, Greg, because we've been talking a lot lately about, as a company, okay, so we set this Hall of Fame standard, which is great. We believe everybody can hit it. I believe that in 2014. I sure as heck believe it now. We have hundreds of people on track to do it. But with e-apps, instant leads, the marketplace, what we've gone through as a country, it's got everybody thinking about the mortality. I'm literally, somebody asked me today, you think anybody could issue $100,000 a month? And I said, yes. And I would have never said that. I never would have. I wouldn't have. I'd have been like, dude, 30, 40. I thought everybody could hit $400,000, but I really, literally think it can happen. So this, the past month, what'd you issue?
189,000.
Okay. See, and that's the thing. Like, do I think anybody could do that? That was a lot of appointments. Like, how many appointments you run a week?
I scheduled 65 a week.
65.
I ran about 32
there you
to 35.
Go. Okay. So had he done half of that, conceivably, it'd be around $100,000 for the month. Right? Those are crazy numbers. And by the way, anybody could work that much, but that's a lot of work. I will concede that's a lot of work. Okay. But you could cut that in half. So it's funny because I used to say 30, 35 appointments can get you 30, 35, 40 grand a month. Now I'm like, dude, I think 30, 35, 40 appointments can get you 70, 80, 90, 100 grand a month. I really do. I believe that. And I think that it's funny because from a lead standpoint, I saw somebody the other day about a guy who does $1 million, and they're like, man, what's he spend on leads? I said, he's spending $12,000 a month, which is really not that much, and that's 144 a year. And they're like, man. I go, I know, man, right? Like, and it's funny because people's perspective. Well, it's 144. I say he issued 1 million, like 1.2 million. Like, dude, he netted outside of leads $1 million, and whatever he had, expenses, the whole deal. Walk us through, Greg. What was your previous high before that?
55.
There you go. So walk us through what happened, just on the work side. Like, what did you decide to do it? Fine. How did you commit to that? What did your lead flow look like? And what were some of the things you had to overcome early to make sure you had that kind of month?
So going into it, coming into this year, I knew I wanted to do $100K month because it's already been done.
Yep.
And so I had texted Andrew at the end of conference this year and said, I'm pissed right now, but I'm pissed at myself because I'm not hitting the numbers I know I'm capable of. So there's two things this year: is I want to hit 100K in myself issue pay in a month, and then I want to do 1 million as a team, and I have a board member. So I just told him because I wanted to keep myself accountable, and so. When April hit, or it's at the end of March, that was when we had that challenge that, hey, Nina says that she's going to do 100K, and if she doesn't, she's going to pay Andrew 5K. And I was like, man, that is accountability.
That's right.
And I was down. So I threw my hat in the ring, and that's when I said, I'm in. Already told Andrew I was going to do it. And the first thing I did was I knew I had to control my schedule. I had to get very serious about my schedule. And what I did was I basically went back. I blocked out every day from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I blocked it every 15 minutes. And then I put in my non-negotiables. So going to the gym, going to church, scripture studies every day, a professional reading every day. I watch a podcast through FFL every single day. I post about it. I still wanted to do team meetings. I still went to the manager's meeting. I didn't want to neglect building the business. So I blocked those out on the calendar. And then I still had all this white space. So then I'm like, okay, so here's all the times that I can do appointments. And what I found is I still had time to do 8 to 10 appointments Monday through Friday. And Saturday was my big day. That was when I did like 12, 14 appointments. Start at 7 a.m. and I'd do appointments till 10 p.m. I didn't care. But I was non-negotiable. Like these are the days I'm not doing anything else. I don't drink. I don't go out. I don't party. So I was just very, very accountable. And what I realized is that there's the single biggest lie I think that we tell ourselves is that we don't have the time,
right?
Or we're too busy. And so, so the whole month I had this thought. I was like, man, Shawn Meaike's probably the busiest person I ever met. And if I'm saying I'm too busy,
That's right.
then I'm not busier than Shawn Meaike. That's for sure.
It's good to be busy.
Yeah.
But but I mean, to your point, a couple of things that are huge. I mean, number one, and it's kind of funny when you decide to take control of your life.
Yes.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean? For and I said this to Andrew 5 years ago. I said, dude, you're trying to build a business, except you're working it Monday through Thursday. Friday, you're out pretty early. You hang out with your buddies and drink all weekend long. And Andrew didn't have the problem I have, right? So like but I'm like, but dude, you're still like out late, up late. And it's going to be harder for you to not to get by. You'll always make a living doing this, and you'll make pretty good money. But you're saying you want to have this ridiculously large, profitable business. How in the world are you going to do that by having all these other things that are in your way? Because those aren't things you put in your calendar. Those are just BS. You don't accomplish anything with them. There's absolutely nothing. I might go have fun if that's. But if you're saying I want to have this result, because see, that's what's happening when you look at. How busy do you want to be? And ever since we've done our deal with integrity, like it's a very good overwhelming.
Yes.
Because I'm like, we've never worked harder because we see what other people can get. Like there's no doubt. And I love what you said. I looked at 100 grand and said, I've seen it done a bunch. It's already been validated for me. Mm-hmm. Why in the world can I do it? And we're going to start, that's the next push. We have a lot of folks who are like, dude, you can hit the millionaire club. Like, you can hit that in production. I mean, 80 grand, you could easily do that. And what does that mean for your cash flow, for your business? See, because a real business runs whether you're there or not. That's right. I always tell people all the time, you don't have a real business. Yes, I do. I'm like, no, when you leave, it can't run. You're an employee and you have to be there. When I left Connecticut, a year and a half ago, that office runs.
Yeah, it does.
It runs. I mean, we were together for a long time, but it runs. I wasn't like, oh my God, I need to come back all the time. They're like, when will we see you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm out. Like, I trust you guys. Like, it's a real business. Y'all know what you're doing. Same thing in Boca. I don't have as many staff there, but I'm good, which allows me to do what I need to do. So there's this whole story we tell ourselves. Well, for me, I'm going to really have to be, but those are days I'm just going to have to be in the office. They block out like 4 days to be in the office. They eat breakfast. They eat lunch, they hang out, they watch TV, they talk to staff, talk about the weekend. And Greg, what I'm hearing is you had no time for any of that.
No.
And I had a mentor tell me a long time ago, if it doesn't benefit my spiritual life, my family life, my work life, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, pretty good rules to live by. Like, if I can just do that, it doesn't benefit any one of those three, why am I going to engage in it? Let's just not engage in it because it's not benefiting any one of those three.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited, man. You're going to have a phenomenal year. And I think it also, you had a guy ask me the other day, how do I get, people do 20K a month? I'm like, well, first of all, that should never be your goal. That's barely above broke. But on top of it, you do 20K a month. What if you went out and wrote 40 to 50? Is it uncomfortable in that many appointments? Yes. Is it uncomfortable doing that with your schedule? Yes. Is it uncomfortable making that commitment? Yes. But then the power of habit after 30 days is like, wait a minute, I can do this. Yep. Right?
It's kind of like when you blow up a balloon. Mm-hmm. When you first of all, it's so small, but then you blow it up. When it goes back down, what is it? It's bigger than it was when it's not inflated because it's normal to being bigger, and every single time you do it, it kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger when it's not inflated. So that's what you're doing every single time that you do more production, or you push past that limit. When you relax, you can do more when you're at a relaxed peak state than what you could before.
Amen. Well, hey, that's great. I appreciate you sharing to him. And Andrew's been talking the whole time. He's like, he's going to do this. I'm like, dude, if he says he's going to do it, he's probably going to do it. And I appreciate you for the validation because what happens is we're trying to teach people that they can go further.
Absolutely.
And push harder. And that's always been for me. All I can ever say is I want everybody to know that I'm going to work as hard as I can. And I said that to America day one, that there might be people that know more than me about whatever, but they're not going to outwork me. And no matter how big we've gotten or what we're doing or where everybody's at, I don't ever want anybody to forget that because the minute you stop working, that psychology override messes people up and they go, I don't like him anymore. Mm-hmm. They liked you 6 months ago. They just don't like you not working. They don't care if you make mistakes. But the minute you're not working and they're working and they're out in the field and they know you're not and you're hanging out, posting a bunch of pictures, they'll dislike you real fast. So, but I'm proud of you, man. I appreciate it, dude. It's huge.
I appreciate it.
So thank you.
My pleasure.
Big Trey. Hey. So same thing on the building side, right? Think about this, right? How much did y'all issue pay last month?
$3 million.
$3 million. What did you do a year ago per month?
600,000.
600 grand. Okay.
Yeah.
And you had hovered for a while.
Yeah.
100, 2, 5, 3, right? Hovered for a while.
Right.
Trey said a couple things that changed my perspective on this, which was great. He said the first thing is, had Grady not been doing what he was doing, I wouldn't have been pissed off enough to want to grow my business. So there's two choices where I get pissed and go, we have some people that go, look what they're doing. They have unfair advantages. They're weak in constitution, they're weak in character, and they're egotistical when they say that. You go, look what he's doing. He's killing it.
I could do that.
Here's how long I've been here, and I can do it too. And we're going to share best practice with each other. What are a couple of things, Trey, that you've been able to do to allow yourself to, because you meet a lot of people.
Right.
Fair enough that you get in front of a lot of folks.
Yes.
How did you do that this last year?
Well, the first thing I'd say to that is everybody wants to compete when you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
But
True.
real competitors continue to compete when you're not winning.
Love that.
That's a great that's a great segue.
That's true. Everybody wants to run their mouth. We're up by 25 points in the fourth quarter. You know, it's the guy that's competing still when you're down by 27 and there's 2 minutes left.
Amen to that. So what I did to continue to get in front of a lot of people, one of the best practices that Grady shared over the last year and a half was just utilizing Zoom and really getting new agent success stories in front of people. So I would do that. The other thing we did was we didn't stop traveling and we didn't stop moving. And so I'm always trying to pay as much attention as possible to the brand new people in the organization. And I go where they go, and I try to be at the business development meetings, and I try to be at the sales conferences as often as possible and promote those. And what I love is being able to have the ability to tell a story like what Greg's done. Because what I've been telling Greg is like, Greg, you need an XO. Like, you need somebody there to sing your praises when you're not around. Because if Greg can do 189,000 in a month, by golly, somebody on his team or anyone else's team,
everybody on his team could do 80 grand a month.
It could do 80.
I mean, it's exactly.
And so it's really easy to point to someone like that and say, because it's always been the same principle. Like what you talked about early on, because I always, in the field, what I had an issue with is like, what do I measure? Do I measure appointments? Do I measure sits? And your whole thing was just work 40 hours a week.
Correct.
If you just work, if you get out your calendar, you plan it ahead, and you actually put the 40 hours a week in, then you're going to make a really good living at this. And what Greg did is he just doubled that. He's like, I'm going to do 80 and make sure that all this white space is filled. So being able to point to people like Greg that are proving the model over and over and over again, and be able to say, if they can do it, you can do it, and here's how. And then all the training has just come alongside of all that everybody can utilize it and point to it.
The other thing is you went and met people. You got in airplanes. You went and did meetings.
Yes.
Weekends, nights, wherever. If there
had them come to me.
Had them come to you. You met people.
Yeah.
Put faces with names, looked them in the eyes. How crucial was that instead of trying to build it over the phone?
Oh, it's so crucial. Belief enables action. And the best thing we could do to get people to believe is just let them know that we're real people. We're here. We work. Having an office, like a real office that I go to, and then they meet me there. They realize, hey, they really do have a staff. He really is going to answer the phone. They see me working when they're around. That's another thing that's huge. Like you meet somebody brand new at one of the meetings, and your phone goes off 10 times, and you still answer it, and then they realize, oh yeah, he's busy. It's one thing to do that far away, but when people see it up close and personal, it changes the dynamic.
Well, I think that's one of the other things, right? We talk about 5,500 agents. What are we going to do with 55,000?
Yeah.
We talked about being at $1 billion. I was sharing some of the projections with you, Greg, about where we're going as a company. And the office space has changed the game for us. But that was part of us not doing. We weren't growing the way I wanted to grow 3 years ago. I mean, we're killing it now. I'm still not growing the way where I want to grow. Like we want to go it's like, and we're never happy unless we're just kind of doing one of these things.
We're on the verge of that.
I know. I'm telling you. And what's crazy is we watched other companies recruit people purely because they had local offices. So instead of us going, that's stupid, why do people need that? We're like, wait a minute. Enough people are telling us they need it. Right. Enough people are saying that they need that support to do well. We need to go ahead and get over ourselves and adopt that. Yeah. Because we had good people who were losing. We'd say, like, why didn't you join us instead of them? Like, your comments so much better. They're like, I know everything about you guys is great, but they have a local office. So now we're going to be at 400. We're at like 137, 138. We'll be as big as anybody office-wise, no doubt about it. And when you look at, I'm always really honored because I always tell people, you'll have my respect if you work hard. And it allows you to be all kinds of different. You can make mistakes, because you work hard.
That's right.
Don't work hard. I don't know how to respect you. That's just how my mom raised me, though. I don't have another way to do. My mom just said, like, find out what people are going to do. Be nice till there's a time not to be nice. That's the other thing she said. Be nice until there's time not to be nice, and then don't be nice. Quick.
Right.
But don't respect people. Don't work hard. She said because they'll always want something for nothing, and you'll really dislike your relationship with them. But the people that work hard, those are the ones you're going to respect and connect with. And obviously, you both work really hard, which you got all my respect in the world. And I just want to keep working hard. And it keeps me motivated to go 7 days a week. Keeps me motivated to not sleep. Keeps me motivated to just, and dude, I'm so, Greg, lately, so I can't even, I just can't, because I'm excited. Yes, I'm like excited. It's not like, oh my God, what's wrong? I'm just so excited. Like, I'll get up sometimes, I'm like, dude, how is it only 3:30? Like, when's everybody going to get up? Like, let's go, and the flight's at 5:30, but it's like, let's go. I'm pumped. Like, let's roll. Yeah. We always joke and they'll go, dude, I know I got to be here 30 minutes early because you're so excited that 30 minutes early is when we actually fly out. So if I'm not here 30 minutes early, you'll leave me behind. And I'm like, yes, but it's because I'm so excited about what we do. I'm seeing people change their lives.
Yep.
I want you to do $1 million a month. I want your team to do it. I know you will. And I want you to help a lot of other people get to where you are. And I want to get you to $3, $4, $5 million a month. I want to see you do it. And get us to, because at the end of the day, and I'll leave you with this, the thing that hit me probably about 2 weeks ago was somebody asked me in a smaller meeting, when it's all said and done, what would you want them to say about Family First Life? And I said, that's a really good question. And I said, I want everybody to be able to say unequivocally, based on facts, that Family First Life produced more people than any other company in America, more people that worked there, more people that made above $500,000, $700,000 a year, $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, became multimillionaires with deals of integrity. There are companies that are grossing $800,000 a minute that I would take our top earners, and the guy that makes as much as you or the girl that makes as much as you, they ain't many, and the entire company. And we're never going to be the size that they are from a valuation net. We're not trying to be, because we share so much of the money. We should.
Right.
That's what excites me. So at the end of the day, we're going to look and see the net of these. Like when you start thinking about, you just netted $80,000 off of your business. Like, you work hard, you put a bunch of money back into it. $1 million in overrides a year. Net.
Yeah.
Like straight net. I mean, heck, you just netted, good Lord, in a month, right? I mean, let's be honest. Good Lord, right? And now put that together with you building the business. Now you have all the firepower in the world to hire anybody you want.
Absolutely.
So
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. So, hey, I'm actually honored to be in business with both of you. It's good to see you both. And I'm excited moving forward. Factory Fresh, as always, thank you. You're the man. Factory, can you show them this fan you set up for me with the camera? Or is that not possible? Can you show? I can just pick it up, actually.
Just pick it up. And,
let me pick it up. Let me tell you how awesome this guy is. First of all, they don't have air conditioning in this room. Trey, you're hot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hot. But he gave me this that was supposed to help. And it did. Like, he's the man. I was like, what are you doing? He's charging my phone. He gave me a little fan over here. I think it's actually making it wet. Either that or I'm really sweating, but actually spraying out like some mist to me. So, but Factory Fresh, you were like one of the kindest human beings I've ever met in my life. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Greg, thanks. Trey, thanks. Guys, I hope this helps. This can be done by anybody. Put the work, if you put in the